Alrighty, hey guys, AnimeWestReacts here. This is going to be a reaction to Talentless Nana, Chapter 101, Telepathy Part 2. So yeah, we ended the last chapter off with Kilya and the guy, can't remember his name, putting their plan into motion. And then seemingly at the end of the chapter, someone spotted them. Soldier spotted them. He said, you dropped this. Some like firework looking thing. He like snatches it. And then the soldier guy's like, firecrackers, right? What are you planning to do with them? He said, just gonna mess with some talented. And he smiles, says, don't overdo it. With Chief Nakajima gone, we can't have fun like we used to. He says, so, why are you carrying that? That's what Kyoya says with telepathy. And he says, what? He says, come on, the firecrackers. He says, oh. If something happened, I was going to light them and run. He's like, I see a distraction. And Kyoya says, we should find somewhere to rest. I'll check your ankle. Because, yeah, you get twisted it. And he says, we still have work to do. And says, I know, I agree. But you won't be able to run with your ankle like this. And he says, fine. There's an abandoned house we can use nearby. And then, yeah, he takes his shoe off, or they go to the abandoned house. Kyoya takes the guy's shoe off, and we're looking at it, and he says, definitely sprained. You should try to stay off it for a few days. He says, I can't afford to do that. And Kyoya says, you can't pull this off. And he says, there's a kid with a fever. I have to deliver the medicine. And Kyoya says, you're pretty soft on kids. And he says, people die here a lot. The soldiers beat them for fun, or they get carried off to headquarters. I think it was a night like this that the same beautiful moon, I found a kid out on the streets and took him in. I'd feed them, any lost kids, and before I realized it, I was surrounded by them. And Kyoya says, you take care of them. And then the guy says, in a dump like this, you only survive if you give yourself something to live for. And he says, what about you? Why are you fighting the military? And Kyoya says, they captured my little sister. Plus, I'm kind of forgetful. It's caused my friends a lot of trouble. He says, I owe them a lot. And the guy says, sorry, but I'm not helping with that. And then Kyoya says, I know you're a businessman, okay? Okay, let's move out. And Kyoya picks up both the bags and he says, what are you doing? And he says, I can handle it from here, the northern apartment complex, right? And he says, you're going alone? And yeah, Kyoya says, once the job's done, contact Hiragi for me, okay? He says, Kyoya. He says, this house has a false floor that leads underground. It connects to the sewer system. If anything happens, come back. And he says, I'll go back and wait for your report. Don't die. Yeah, Kyoya's like, I won't. Because, yeah, Kyoya's ability. And then, yeah, walking down the alley or street, and someone says, hey, what are you carrying? Just turn around slowly, state your name and platoon. And the guy puts his hand on his gun and says, well, yeah, Kyoya Onodera with the talented. And then he, turns around and jumps on the guy, grabbing him. Guy shoots him. And then, Kyoya just snatches the gun and shoots it up in the air, I guess. Or he takes it, runs, and shoots it. So yeah, you hear bang, bang, bang as he's running away, shooting it up into the sky. Guy says, and the guy calls for backup, says, emergency, it's Onodera. I spotted Kyoya Onodera. It says, Onodera has a gun. He's escaping to the north. All available units to the northern district. And so, yeah, you see the soldiers cordoning everything off or putting up keep out tape stuff. And then, yeah, cars. And then, yeah, says, "Have you spotted him?" It says, "No, not yet." And then someone starts entering. Yeah, it's like, "I'm back again." Yeah. He's like, guy's like, "I know it said come back if anything happened, but." And Kyo's like, "Don't worry, they didn't see me come in. Let's get out of here." He says, "Did you make the delivery?" And he's like, "Sorry, I'm not great at fight scenes." He says, "I made a big show of heading north, but I actually just hung around here the whole time. The bags were heavy, so I dumped them. Had to dump them." And the guy says, "Let's go." And then, yeah, back at the base, Kyo's laying in bed. There's kids saying, "Let's play Immortal Guy." And he says, "Hey, the fuss should have died down by now." And then, yeah, Kyo's thinking, says, "This place is pretty nice." But yeah, guy's like, "I'm asking you to leave." He's like, "But I haven't been paid yet." He's like, "Are you sure your forgetfulness isn't early onset dementia? You failed the delivery." And he says, "Nope. I think I finished the job perfectly." And then, yeah, the guy's like, "What?" And then Kyoya says, "Started to suspect something was off from the moment you hit that soldier and landed on your back. The backpack flattened underneath you, which means there probably wasn't anything inside it. But you kept going, even with your sprained ankle. You kept insisting we make the delivery. That must have meant that the real job still wasn't complete." And yeah, the guy says, "The real job." And then, yeah, Kyo says, "You said it. You said the moon was beautiful, remember?" And then, yeah, he's like shocked. And then he says, Kyo says, "You couldn't have seen the moon through that window. Nah, next building was too close. You could barely see the sky." And the guy says, "What about it?" And he says, "What difference does it make?" And then he says, "It means," as he looks back at the kids, "the person who's been speaking to me the whole time isn't you. The real telepathy user has just been using you as a decoy, making it look like you're the talented." And yeah, he says, "But why? Why would you pretend Red was the one with the ability? Yeah, why did you set up that whole show?" It says, to draw attention to Red, he chose a route with a lot of guards and brought noisemakers with him. It was all to make the real telepathy user's job easier. Am I right?" So yeah, the real one's one of the kids. He says, "Kid, you were outside, weren't you? Somewhere you could see the moon. While we acted as decoys and distracted the soldiers, you were running around making the real delivery." And then, yeah, we're like, "Boss." And the kid's like, "Ah, man. Can't believe you figured it out in one day." And it's like, "Yeah, Red runs around facing the danger, and I get the job done. The delivery was actually to the south. Red's part was the Red's part was to cause a diversion for me." He's like, "Sorry, boss. I sprained my ankle and Kyoya had to save me." So yeah, telling kid what really happened. And he's like, "Kyoya, that's why you did it, isn't it? Why you ran around like that?" So yeah. So yeah, thanks to you, I made the delivery with no problems. Glad to hear it. So you can even let the three of us talk to each other. Yeah, or just to Red. Last night I was getting detailed reports while I was talking to you." He's like, "Oh, so that's why there was the delay. That delay." And then the kid's like, "Hey, what are they doing?" Like, "I think they're talking." And then yeah, Kyoya says, "Are you two pretty close?" And then the kid says, I didn't lie about how we met. My parents were killed. I was crying all alone when Red saved me." And Red says, "Boss, I didn't really." And he says, "This time too." it came down to it, I was going to use you to distract the soldiers and let Red escape. I'd rather you get caught than him. And Kyo smiles and says, "You two have a great relationship." And yeah, says you. Kyo's like, "I like you. Want to be one of us?" He says, "Oh." And yeah, it's like, "I love making new friends." And he's like, "So can you contact Hiragi?" And then he says, "Okay, give me a minute." And then yeah, talking to Nana, and she says, "And that's what happened." And then you got Moe shaking her, saying, "Shinpai, hello." He's like, "I understand. We're gearing up for a rescue attempt. Knowing you, I'll bet it's something big. Okay, any friend of Kyoya's is a friend of mine." Sachiko's like, "What's wrong with her? Are you tired, ill?" But yeah, says, "Oh, we'll talk with you later. Kyoya really wants to speak to his little sister." And then yeah, Nana snaps out of it, opens her eyes, and says, "Guess what, guys? Kyoya's okay." And it says, "Ren, I know you're there." And it says, "It's me, Kyoya. I'm talking to you through telepathy. Answer me." And then, yeah. And yeah, just keeps sounding her. She's not happy. But, yeah, telepathy is very useful ability to have right now. That's for sure. When everyone's kind of scattered and has no way of really contacting each other. But, yeah, overall, really good chapter. I really enjoyed it. Hope y'all enjoy this video. If you do, then yeah, I appreciate you guys leaving a like on it, sharing it, subbing to this channel, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. Or I guess next month when the next chapter comes out, I guess. But yeah, all I got for now, so check out the links down below in the description to socials and the playlist that'll have all my reactions to the series thus far in it. And yeah,